Hey Taurus, this is your July 2023 soul story. It's Romy here. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. If you've got a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, this will be relevant for you. So we are going to open up this month with the energy of the Four of Swords. It's going to be one day at a time through July, and the reason we want you to take that approach, Taurus, is because you'll be able to see the richness in everything as it's unfolding. But the universe also wants you to stop carrying old feelings into new situations, and by taking this more present, thoughtful, deliberate approach, you're going to recognize where you're doing that and where it's really harmful for you, because it's either creating a sense of self-sabotage or it's not allowing you to truly see your progress, and really recognize kind of where you now are with things, because there's a sense of coming full circle in July, and a lot of the retrograde energies and the sort of speed bump energies that the astrological climate is bringing through this month mean that it can almost feel a little distorted in how it's showing up and presenting us things. We can feel that perhaps we're not making the progress that we thought we were, or things are not as optimistic as we anticipated that they would be, and sometimes that isn't the case, but it can often get worse before it gets better. And we're not meant to be giving up too soon through the course of July. It's a time to push through, but also to be present and really start to notice things, because there's a strong heart healing energy through this month as Venus will finally station retrograde, and then Chiron also shifting into its backspin this month. In Cancer season, we're going with the flow, and as it lights up your third house, that Four of Swords is putting you in a tranquil, quite meditative place actually the beginning of the month, to really seek the answers from within. You are really ready for new conversations, though, that inspire you in new ways. And, the things that feel outdated are going to be incredibly hard to continue to show up for. And it's a sign that you're just ready for the change. And what I really like about the Four of Swords and Queen of Cups combination as we open up this reading is that they tell me you're in listening mode. And we have to be present if we're listening. And so that active participation with your own journey, between you and your higher self is going to be everything this month. It's really going to support you in helping you feel like you're making the right call and the right decisions. Now, I think you are going to feel conflicted over something through the course of this month. And as we approach the full moon in Capricorn, coming in on the 3rd, lighting up your 9th house, so it's truly expanding your horizons and also helping you to reflect upon your spiritual journey over this last 6 months, certainly. But the conflict almost creates this situation where you're sort of damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I want you to think about it in terms of, is this a pathway to growth, or is this a pathway to a continuous comfort zone for me? And to consider not just how you will feel in making that decision today, but also perhaps by the end of this year and a year from now. So sometimes we have to make the hard call, and there's an honesty and a rawness to that, because it might mean that we have to face things, but you have this beautiful, compassionate, very intuitive knowing that's coming with that archetypal energy of the Queen of Cups to help you, okay? And I want you to keep that in mind. So the full moon in Capricorn also brings about a beautiful time of release and culmination of something. The universe is showing here that you've got, the world in your hands, so to speak. And it's beautiful because she's standing on the edge of the galaxy. And again, it just tells me that your mind is being open to things. And sometimes our mind is opened because all of a sudden we see the truth and the revelations come through. And, that in and of itself might also be quite difficult to deal with. The moon really coming in and perhaps sharing some information with you that you're only just now ready to handle. Yeah, and you might say, like, why did I not know this sooner? Why didn't you tell me before now? But I don't think you would have really heard it or been able to kind of maintain a sense of balance as you sort of thought through the implications and considered what this truly means. You know, Taurus, we're all healing from things that we don't talk about. And so we remember that in all the relationships that we have in our life, it's not just our own healing journey we're dealing with, it's other people's, their triggers, their core wounds, their patternings from, you know, previous experiences in childhood. And that makes things deeply complex and not straightforward. But I think that the kindness that you can bring, the compassion that comes forth with that Queen of Cups, and also you giving yourself time and space, if things do feel intense or are overwhelming or you are feeling particularly triggered by different people, yeah, this is a season where there's love in holding on and there's also love in letting go. And you'll know what's right in any given moment. So we approach the 9th and the 10th of the month, and Pallas Athena is going to shift into fellow earth sign Virgo, and the following day Mars will move into the sign. So here we have a new strategy. It's not one where we want to wage war on ourselves or anyone else. In fact, the star says you're bringing a tremendous amount of healing to the situation. Actually, I really like this coming through for you, because I think that this is also a month for you that you are changing some of the ways that you're talking to yourself about yourself, and also the conversations that you're having, even if some of them may feel quite raw and painful. The honesty is just deeply sort of gratifying for you and very cathartic, and it just helps to bring closure where you need it. It helps to bring validation of something that perhaps you've already been feeling or thinking into. And, you know, I want to remind you, because often in Venus retrograde, and we're in the shadow till the 22nd, then it will station, but you've been working with these themes, right, since the 19th of June, so it's not going to be a huge surprise what might surface. But for those of you that are perhaps going to go through a separation, a breakup, it's you know, it's very common around this particular transit, or some sort of distance that needs to happen with a key relationship. I do want you to ask yourself the question, you know, are you missing them, or are you missing yourself when you were happy, or how that they made you feel? And so, you know, this is giving you time and space to reflect through the course of this month with whatever unfolds, not just in your relationships, but in anything that feels particularly challenging to you. You know, what is this showing me about myself, and can I really sort of get to the root of my true feelings around it? Yeah. Opportunities are going to show up for you this month, and they come in part because of your readiness for them. So understand that, even if you're kind of feeling like, where did this land and I'm not in a position to be able to say yes to this, you absolutely are, because there's a reason that they've come in at this divine time. But what we also want to say to you is it's a direct result of your willingness to make a change or an adjustment to something. So that new strategy that Athena and Mars is going to be supporting you with, that comes in from a very healing way and is almost kind of a bit celestially guided. You'll almost feel like your loved ones in spirit, your spirit guides are kind of like dropping these signposts in that are going, okay, this is the way I need to go. And again, back to this sort of note about you potentially feeling conflicted around something, but ultimately making the decision because you can't not. Like, there's this innate pulling and drawing you forward, even though July is set to be like a month of fluctuation, very much so. I also want to remind you, you know, when we're in these retrograde seasons, they're about resolution. And you may have said to yourself, I let it go. But this season, right, you're going to see if that's true, because what comes back in, even though you may say, well, I did not ask for this, Romy. I did not want this. Where has this shown up for? You know, why is it shown up? But clearly there's still something going on in your energy field that needs to be resolved or healed or cleared in some way. So the communication, the energy that's in motion, that's in this state of flux, is asking something of you. What I like though is you have a clear direction. You see how the portal, the gateway here is like drawing and pulling you forward. And you know, it's sand here, which means that as you walk, there's like footprints, right? So you're making an impression. So the significance of this means as you resolve it and heal it, other people are then able to learn from that experience and follow your lead. And that might be people close to you or directly involved in this situation, but it also might be people, you know, who come across your story as you share it in the future. So there's a real symbolism around your willingness to face something through the course of this month that really is going to be helpful. I also see you saying, and maybe this is Mercury and Leo, just giving you the confidence to just say it as it is, but I see you sort of saying to someone, just like, stop wasting my time, which might feel a bit harsh to them. You may even feel a little awkward to kind of express it. However, it does release you from so much uncertainty and confusion. And, you know, the truth is that I don't think that they know fully what they want. So I think until they do, wherever this is coming in, whether it's romantic, personal, family, work scenario, you know, I feel like you're sensing and picking up that split energy. And frankly, you've got enough on your plate and enough going on that you just need to kind of send them back to themselves to say, listen, you know, come back to me when you know, or when you're clear, or when there's more transparency here for me. And that might take a little time. So don't then start doubting that you've done that and that somehow you've then missed out, or you've screwed up, or you shouldn't have done it, or it was too harsh, because, you know, that process might take some time. But the positive thing is that I do see that individual actually going away and reflecting and doing the work that they need to. And then when they come back, the offer or whatever it is that they're bringing to the table is far more in alignment and mirroring to your value, to what you should be receiving. And, you know, there we have this sense of kind of synergy. And this mirroring, which definitely feels more harmonious, more in balance, and helps you to come to the right decision and choice for you. Two of Cups also talks about our sense of devotion, and I think that's a key theme that we're all working with through this month of July, because as this heart healing wave kind of carries us and, you know, at times feels a little turbulent, and puts us on a bit of an emotional roller coaster, as you take the approach, like we suggested, one day at a time, then you're gonna make yourself proud, but I think they will also make you proud. They being whoever is close and important and significant in your world. And, you know, this devotion then almost gets reset, it gets revisited, it gets renewed. And you know, all the re's, this is the kind of retrograde season and what they want us to sort of act upon. Now the North Node will shift into Aries on the 17th, the same day the new moon is in Cancer. North Node in Aries, of course, is about our growth, the fulfillment, the highest expression of our destiny. And, you know, there's an encouragement here for you, Taurus, to really be bold and fearless in the intentionality of what you want. But I think that there's this bigger calling that has got louder and louder and louder. And that itself can feel challenging, because, you know, you might be really clear. Yes, I know this is where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing, but, you know, life has not fully supported me and kind of enabling me to make those choices and decisions. But even that in itself is a story that needs to be released. It's a limiting belief that needs to be dissolved. And so, you know, you're getting like this really loud knock at the door on the 17th, and the energy in and around those days, so that your intentions that you're setting are really kind of helping you say yes to the opportunities that show up. And mark my words, there will be an opportunity that aligns or dovetails into something you are meant to be doing, or somewhere you are meant to be. don't turn away from it. Don't look away from it. Don't put it to the back burner again. No matter how difficult, no matter how much it feels challenging for you, to kind of give yourself permission or to understand the implications or the ripple effect of what that choice will do for you or the people around you. Like, you can't not do this. Everyone has their unique soul blueprint to follow. You know, what's right for you will never be what's right for everybody else. So there's no point in trying to kind of make choices and decisions based on everyone else's needs and wants. Take them into account. Care about it, but don't become attached to it. Otherwise, you will render yourself paralyzed and unable to fulfill the things that are meant for you in this lifetime. And do you think if people are meant to be in your world and you're meant to have something, that somehow going after your purpose or your passion or the things that make you most vibrant and alive in you would mean that you don't get to have something that's also destined and meant for you that brings you happiness and joy? Sometimes it's just our unwillingness to take that brave step. So our last 3 cards we cover off in the extended version of the reading if you're new to the channel, and you can find that in the comment and description box underneath. We talk for another 25-30 minutes, and we will just explore this more deeply, as well as a personal question and a relationship card for you, Taurus. I'm going to go ahead and clarify the main reading and see some of the messages that we're going to be looking at. Okay. 4 of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. Sometimes to be able to see the opportunities, again, we need to take that step back, you know, and get quiet. Page of Swords, there's a time to listen, a time to speak. Queen of Cups, the Chariot. That does link into the cardinal energy of Cancer. That's the thing with Cancer, right? You know, we often say it's like inward, protective, nurturing, but there's a hell of an ambition with Cancerians, yeah? And that energy supports our drive. It's a cardinal sign. It's a cardinal sign, right? So Ace of Cups, your passion, ignited here. Queen of Swords, 4 of Pentacles, put one more there. Ace of Swords, look at that, 3 aces showing up here. Sometimes we long for those new beginnings, but with that means closure and endings and having to let go, and sometimes that's the less desirable part of the process, yeah? Empress and the King of Pentacles. I really like both of those for you. They speak to me of this Venusian energy, but also your beautiful earthliness, and I like it. 3 of Swords. I mean, the pain point of Chiron retrograde, you know, we can't ever really escape it. It's an annual transit. It really does a number on us sometimes with the kind of Achilles heel and the soft underbelly, you know, those places we don't really want to go, the things we don't want to hear, the admissions to ourselves that's more challenging, but the healing chaos and crisis that can sometimes come about from those more challenging moments are ultimately kind of what leads us towards the tremendous breakthroughs. And I see that happening for you on a personal level, but also with some of the relationships in your life this month. Okay, so this is Life Soul Vision Oracle, which if you're new to my channel is my own oracle deck. See the box here? You can check this out over on my website along with my book Moon Musings. So if you enjoy what I create, then you will love these and supporting you on your soul journey with your rituals. Okay, what do we have here? Earth Star Energy, Sacred Ceremony. We have the Queen of Fire. Enlightened in the Exhale. Karmic Cause and Effect. Queen of Earth here. Spirals of Love and Grief. All the decks that I use are actually listed in the comment and description box underneath, guys, okay? Right, let's have a look at the Ocean Dreams Oracle. Sovereignty, beautiful. Love the transparency of that energy. We're also going to pull you a goddess energy for this month. Be sure to check out my goddess reports. You'll see how Pallas Athena can support you where she sits in your own personal natal chart. Okay. Sekhmet, forgiveness. Acknowledge the hurt and allow yourself to ascend. Okay, we'll go into these as long if you're joining me for the extended, as well as your personal question and relationship card. Thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you a beautiful month of July. I will see you again next time. You take good care.